Greetings, viewers. Welcome back. And today is a kind of a milestone for me. On this day, 5 years ago, I took my very second ATV ride. And ever since then, I've actually made a post on Facebook because I was going through going through my On This Day. And if you guys don't know where it is, it's on your homepage off to the left-hand side. I don't know if you guys have it, but I know everybody has it, but it's a cool thing on Facebook, and I'm not sure where it would be on your thing, but it's right here for me. It's called On This Day. I don't know if you guys can see that because I'm using my other camera. Apple, you really need to get your shit together. That way we could just hit a button as we're recording and flip the cameras around. But that's neither here nor there. And I'm probably I'm sure I opened up a can of worms, you Droid users. Oh, we could do this on the Droid. Well, listen, I don't care about your Droid. That's not why this video is here. This video is here to say that on this day 5 years ago would be my very second ATV ride. And yesterday would have been my very first ATV ride. And I can honestly remember it like it was yesterday. I met a girl. She rode. And I would like to thank her more than the guy that got me into riding, because if it wasn't for her and letting me borrow her quad at the time when I didn't have one, I would have never got to meet half the people I know today, because I would have never gotten to riding. So, just to bring you up to speed, yesterday, 5 years ago, me and a friend and another friend who's a girl, her brother, and her boyfriend at the time, we took a Why Not run. And I almost dumped the quad that night. It was funny. I'll never forget it. Came around an area, and I got it up on its side to the point where I actually kicked my leg out, but the quad never moved. And that was the very first time that I was scared on a quad. So, I was going through my timeline, like I said, on this day, and I see pictures of the quad covered in mud at night, and I seen a waterfall. And, that day, what did we do that day? Oh, I remember what we were doing that day. This day, 5 years ago, we were in search for the gravity tunnel. This was before the Lost Trails took over. We never got to that tunnel. We never found it. And this was the day that I took my very, very, very first ATV accident, coming down the rocky section, coming to, I believe it's 435. It's one lane goes this way, one lane goes that way. You could see it from top of the world if you just look through my Lost Trails pictures. And I remember a girl named that we were riding with, Teresa. She had her son on the Polaris. I was on the Wolverine. Chris was on the Lakota. Yeah, okay. And I watched Teresa's son jump off, and then I watched Teresa's quad flip to the side. Everybody was okay, but in the midst of that, somehow I was coming down this rock, and the Wolverine somehow ended up vertical on its nose. And I don't remember exactly how that happened. I don't know if I locked up the front brakes and I was on a steep hill. But all I remember telling my buddy Chris was, listen, we got to get this quad right again because I'm losing gas. And one thing I hate doing in anything is wasting gas. I mean, if I was being towed and something happened and the quad flipped upside down and I didn't have any gas in the tank, well then, hey, whatever, let the quad just sit there for as long as it needs to. But if I have gas in the tank and it's leaking out, I'm in full panic mode because I use the high test. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, I made a post in it, and it said something along the lines of, I went ATVing, and I think this might be for me. And to this day, it's still true. I believe I finally found something that really, really, really makes me happy. Great night, loved it at the end. ATVing may be for me after all. That's the post that I made November 20th at 12:36 a.m. That was a bad night too. That was also the night that our friends left us because we couldn't get the Lakota. We were using my buddy's boss's Cadillac SUV or pickup truck, whatever they're called. I'm sure you guys know or do not know what I'm talking about. I'll never forget that night because we're on the phone and we're like, "Yo, we need you to come back. We can't get the Lakota in the back of the truck." And these people are like, well, they didn't answer the phones, which they probably blew us off. And this person's going to know exactly who I'm talking about. Because this person that I'm talking about dated Nick. So whether or not, it all comes together. I'm sure this person knows. And this person's probably laughing their ass off right now at this video. If she even watches it. But I want to thank my ex for letting me borrow her quad when I had none. And, I mean, ever since that night, ever since yesterday, 5 years ago, I have never looked back about ATVing. All the money over $3,000-$4,000 I have invested in all of my quads, total. Can I say it was worth it? Beyond the sheet, no question about it, yes. There's just no question about it. I've went through trial and error with my first Lakota, as tons of you've known, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. None of it. I enjoy it. You know, my green Lakota's down again. Engine work. But I want to thank I want to thank my buddy Chris and my ex-girlfriend for getting me into quadding. I can't really say I want to thank one person more, one person less, because in the end it was kind of both of them that got me into riding, and the things that I've seen and the adventures that I had with and without them are, I can't literally sit here as a musician and say, do you remember that venue we played with all those people and they sang the songs and they loved us? All of that musician shit is a big blur to me. But trail riding and everything that I've experienced, from the ups to the downs, the lefts to rights, the ins, the outs, I remember as clear as day. I mean, I can't stress this enough to parents. Get your child into quadding. Sell the video games, sell the Xboxes, buy quads. They're not as dangerous as everybody thinks, as long as you have a good teacher who knows what they're doing. That's the key thing here. This past Saturday, as many of you know, I had Austin out on the Lakota 300. Well, the chain popped and took the transmission case with it. No biggie. I replaced it. Come to find out, the chain was loose as hell. I mean, here I was blaming him for the incident and everything, but it was really, the chain was really loose, and no matter what I did, I couldn't tighten it. So, long story short, I had to take a link out. Posted that on my Facebook page. But, honestly, if I could go back in time and change anything from now till 5 years ago, I wouldn't change anything. Nothing. It was just so amazing. In these 5 years, and I have met, over these 5 years, I have met and talked with some of the coolest riders that I have ever known. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll mention initials: SC, MG, DM. So these are just some of the people that I ride with on a daily basis. And if you people know who I'm talking about, you can just go through my pictures, and you guys will put all 3 and 3 together. I'm sure you'll probably get 9 or something. That's Common Core math. I'm trying to make a joke. Don't know how well it worked. But, yeah. I owe a big thank you to my ex and my best friend out there who got me heavy into riding. And I mean, just the adventures that I've had over the last 5 years, like, just thinking about it, I get kind of choked up because all the memories that I've had from 5 years ago until just this weekend, I'm happy. I'm just really happy. I'm very happy with my wife, her kid, my 3 quads, all my friends that I constantly harass on a daily basis. They're awesome. But yeah, 5 years ago. You know what? It always seems like it was yesterday when we went up to the Why Not at night, and I almost dumped the quad the first time, and I had a razor behind me. That was funny, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Downshift, brap, upshift, brap, upshift, and I just kept going. But this video may or may not reach my ex, but I definitely want to thank her for, I guess she's the main person that got me into it, because, like I said, she let me use her quad, which ultimately made me want to go out and buy my own. So, and it was also my best friend who ultimately, when me and the ex broke up, got me out of the house to go out and ride. So, I mean, it was an amazing time, you know? It really was. 5 years ago today. Wow. So many memories. And I'm glad that I get to share them with you out there, whether good, bad, or indifferent. But I'm going to end this video now. It's a little over 12 minutes long. This thing's going to take forever to upload, and it's going to kill my battery on my phone, so whatever. But like I said, I want to thank my best friend, and I also want to thank my ex, because without those two, I probably would still be home, sitting in this basement, never enjoying life, because before this, I was just video games and doing nothing, and now look at me. I got a whole Facebook page of riders and people that love to ride and people that love to look at my videos and pictures and share. And I've even got fans that love to meet me. And you know what? Most people let that stuff get to their head. And I'm trying not to. I mean, hey, what can I say? This past Saturday was the last night ride of 2015. And I'm upset. Every time the night ride comes to an end, I do get upset. But there's always next year, because I enjoy riding at the Lost Trails. And I'm glad I didn't listen to everybody who said, it's so rocky and it's so bad, you'll beat yourself up. Weak. Get out of here. No time for weak quadders, man. Ride with the pack. Ride with the pack. That's what I do. Every Sunday, just about. But, this may or may not get back to my ex. If it does, hey, thank you. Thank you. This may or may not get back to my old best friend, but if it does, thank you. And to all the guys I ride with on a daily, weekly basis or whatever, thank you. Thank you for the memories, past, present, and future. And just remember, if you guys are looking for riding videos, head over to Loud Landy. That's Loudlandy. Matter of fact, I'm uploading the last of the night ride videos, so they should be up soon. So, thank you. Stay muddy. Stay safe.